Senator Jeff Klein on the phone with us about the shootings in California, gun control, all of those issues. What are your feelings on what transpired out there as it pertains to our gun control laws?
Well, certainly I was the Senate sponsor of New York SAFE Act, which I still believe is the most comprehensive, toughest gun law in the nation. Bans assault weapons, high-capacity magazines, keeps guns out of the hands of the serious mentally ill. And unfortunately, while New York has acted and has a comprehensive, tough law, we don't have a national gun law of any kind. And that's a problem because we're still subjected to guns from states which have very little laws. I think Congress needs to act. Something as small as criminal background checks hasn't been able to be accomplished. And I'm hopeful that the Congress acts and passes something as it applies to gun control in New York, and to actually match or even come close to what we have in New York.
And Senator, one of the other reasons that we would like to talk to you this morning, another bill that you've been really instrumental in pushing forward is the fight against synthetic marijuana, and you will be in Syracuse this afternoon with a few other local and elected officials to try to see how we can combat this. Your thoughts on that and moving forward?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm here with going to attend a summit that we put together with Senator David Valesky, dealing with synthetic marijuana known as K2. In central New York, it's known as Spike. Mm-hmm. But whatever we call it, it's killing our young people. I had a summit back in October in the Bronx, which was very well attended. And this is something that really is ravaging our nation, our state. We're seeing emergency room visits skyrocket of young people taking this garbage. You see, the problem is that it's not marijuana. It's made in labs. They usually use some kind of organic substance, spray chemicals on it, and they call it synthetic marijuana or whatever they call it. It's clearly being marketed towards our young people. It's not only sold in corner stores or grocery stores, it's available online. So I've really taken a very comprehensive approach on this issue. We first did an operation in my district where we found how easy it was to buy this stuff at the local grocery store. We then saw how easy it was to buy it online and contacted these online companies like Craigslist, demanding that they stop selling this stuff on their websites. And finally, I think we need comprehensive legislation, which is the purpose of the summit today, to build groundswell of support around this. I think, first of all, we have to make it illegal to sell K2 or any synthetic marijuana in the state of New York. Right now, that doesn't exist. I think we have to really crack down on those grocery stores and convenience stores that are selling this stuff by taking away their license to sell beer, to sell lottery, to sell cigarettes. As you know, that's the lifeblood of any of these stores. And finally, I'm pushing what's known as an analog bill. See, the problem we have here is the federal government constantly bans this stuff by actually using DEA investigations, where any time anything is made that replicates a real drug like LSD, like cocaine, like marijuana, it's automatically banned. The problem is New York State does not have the ability to do that because we don't have an analog law. So that's what really I want to pass when we go back into session in January. That's the only way we're going to prevent other mad chemists from coming up with other drugs that are really destroying our young people around the state and around the nation.
Talking with Jeff Klein, New York State Senator, representing parts of the Bronx and the Westchester counties, here on the Talk of the Town.
And, Senator, we had the newly elected since the Dean Skelos situation, Senate Majority Leader John Flanagan in our area just a few days ago in response to the AG's lawsuit against our school district, Utica City School District here. We also spoke yesterday with Assemblyman Anthony Brindisi. You mentioned getting back in session here in a few weeks, and I asked Anthony, and I'd like to get your take, your thoughts on how the IDC will move forward with the Senate session coming up.
Well, you know, this is the fifth year that the IDC has been a separate conference in the New York State Senate. The first time there's been a separate conference in the 150-year history, of the State Senate. And we're going to continue to do what we've done, come up with solutions, try to get things done. I think, we can still remember the dysfunction of the Senate 5 years ago where nothing was getting done. I'm very proud that we can work with Democrats, we can work with Republicans, and do the people's business. I think that's what voters want. They're not seeing it in Washington. And I think we've been able to come together and really get things done. We just talked about the SAFE Act. It may be controversial in certain regions, but I think we were able to come up and craft a bill that I think made us all safer. We also enhanced penalties on gun dealing and community guns and things of that nature. So I think this, I believe, is a model for the state Senate and able to get things done. I know Senator Flanagan. We worked together when we were in the Assembly and, of course, in the Senate. And I'm very confident that we can continue to work, Democrats and Republicans, and get the people's business done in this legislative session. I think the best way we can move forward and get beyond the scandals of Shelley Silver and Dean Skelos is by showing the people of the state of New York that we can make the Senate work.
And the old thought of the 3 men in a room, maybe some vacant seats there. Do you think you'll have a chair in that room this year?
Well, something, I have been in the room, and I advocated very strongly for things that I care about and that are important to my colleagues in the IDC as well as residents of the state of New York. But something, I think in order to get things done, I never needed to be in any room. I'm a strong advocate for things that I believe in, and I think that's a model that works. It certainly works for me, and it works for the IDC, and we're going to continue that in the upcoming session.
Perfect. And again, today, your efforts out in Syracuse, if you can just go over that, what you're trying to do.
Well, we're having really leaders from all over Central New York, law enforcement. We're going to have hospital personnel. We really want to see how we can craft legislation or really gain support for the legislation that I'm pushing to really protect our state against the horrors of K2 or spite, as it's known in Central New York. This is horrible. This is a dangerous product that's packaged very cleverly in colorful bags to attract young people. It's cheap. It's $5 for a 5-gram bag. And unfortunately, it's toxic, laced with synthetic cannabinoids. And it's causing an upturn in emergency room visits all over our state. So I think it's very important that we get everyone on the same page, law enforcement, prosecutors, health officials, to really crack down on K2. So I think our really mission today in having this summit is to finally KO K2.
Appreciate your efforts, Senator.
Yeah, thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.